December is not just another month on the calendar, it is a threshold, a bridge between endings and beginnings. For those who walk the path of awareness, numbers can be more than mathematical symbols. They can serve as mirrors of inner truths and signs of karmic patterns unfolding in our lives. In Buddhist wisdom, everything is interdependent, and even numbers can carry the vibrations of cause and effect, reminding us of where we have been and where we may be heading. As we step into December 2025, there are certain numbers that hold particular weight. They are not lucky in the superficial sense, but they carry energies that align with growth, renewal, and awakening. These numbers are most likely to appear in your life during this month, whether through dates, timings, or simple coincidences that are never truly random. If you pay attention, each of these numbers can guide you toward clarity, balance, and spiritual strength. Number 1, the power of new beginnings. In Buddhist wisdom, the number 1 represents the seed of intention, the single pointed focus that gives birth to all journeys. When this number shows up in December, it is not by accident. It calls you to stand firmly as an individual, yet with the awareness that individuality itself is an illusion woven into the fabric of interconnectedness. For men and women walking the modern path, this number serves as a reminder that before you can influence the world, you must first master your own mind. The power of 1 in December 2025 suggests a new chapter is waiting to unfold. It could be the first step in a career shift, the beginning of a meaningful relationship, or even the quiet decision to leave behind habits that weigh down the spirit. In Buddhist practice, such beginnings are not grandiose. They are subtle, yet they hold the potential to reshape your karma. For men, the number 1 challenges you to lead with integrity, not domination. For women, it calls forth strength without losing compassion. And for both, it represents the courage to walk alone when necessary, trusting that solitude is not emptiness, but fertile ground for wisdom. As you encounter the number 1 this month, whether on dates, phone numbers, or daily patterns, pause and reflect. What is beginning in me? What intention am I planting? Because the truth is, everything you experience outwardly starts with a single thought, a single choice. December 2025 offers you this reminder that beginnings, no matter how small, hold the power to alter the course of your destiny. Number 2, balance and partnership. Where the number 1 stands for independence, the number 2 is its natural counterpart: harmony, balance, and the power of partnership. In Buddhist thought, life is never one-sided. The universe is built on dualities: light and dark, strength and vulnerability, silence and sound. Yet true wisdom lies not in choosing one over the other, but in holding them both with equanimity. The number 2 reminds us of this balance, and in December 2025, it will show up as a guide to restore harmony in your life. For men, the appearance of 2 is often a call to embrace patience and cooperation. Modern society teaches men to dominate, to always lead, but Buddhist wisdom reminds us that real strength lies in the ability to work in unity. For women, 2 can be a symbol of sacred companionship and the courage to accept support without losing individuality. In practical terms, the number 2 appearing this December might point toward relationships, be it friendships, family ties, or romantic connections that require your attention. It may signal a chance for reconciliation, for listening more than speaking, for softening where once you were hard. At the same time, it may reveal an imbalance that demands correction, pushing you to make choices that restore peace. On the deeper level, 2 is a meditation on interconnectedness. You are not alone in your struggles, and you do not rise in isolation. Every action affects another, every choice echoes through unseen lives. When the number 2 surfaces, ask yourself, where am I being called to create harmony? How can I honor both myself and the other? In December 2025, let the number 2 guide you toward balance. It is not weakness to lean on another, nor is it weakness to admit when something must change. Balance is strength refined into wisdom. Number 3, creativity and expression. The number 3 carries the vibration of creativity, communication, and spiritual expression. In Buddhist wisdom, it often resonates with the triple gem, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, reminding us that we thrive when we ground ourselves in guidance, truth, and community. In December 2025, the number 3 will appear as a call to awaken your inner voice and express your authentic self without fear or hesitation. For men, the number 3 represents the courage to move beyond silence and emotional restraint. Too often, men are conditioned to suppress their feelings, but Buddhist practice teaches that suppression leads only to suffering. Expression, when guided by mindfulness, becomes a path to liberation. For women, 3 encourages the celebration of inner creativity, whether through art, words, or the way you bring compassion into the world. On a practical level, this number may show itself in opportunities for collaboration, invitations to share your ideas, or a sudden desire to create something meaningful. It could be writing, painting, music, or even the crafting of a new life vision. The energy of 3 reminds you that self-expression is not a luxury, but a necessity for growth. Spiritually, 3 also teaches about alignment. Thought, speech, and action must be in harmony for a man or woman to walk with integrity. If the number 3 shows up repeatedly this December, ask yourself, am I living in alignment? Do my words reflect my true heart? Do my actions match the wisdom I seek? December 2025 offers fertile ground for creative renewal. The number 3 tells you not to keep your light hidden, but to let it shine boldly. Creativity is not ego. It is the natural flowering of the soul when fear dissolves. Number 4, stability and discipline. The number 4 carries the grounding energy of structure, discipline, and reliability. In Buddhist practice, it resonates with the 4 noble truths, the very foundation of awakening. Just as those truths reveal the nature of suffering and the path to liberation, the number 4 reminds you that a strong foundation is necessary for any real transformation. In December 2025, this number will appear as a sign to strengthen your roots before reaching higher. For men, the number 4 calls for responsibility. It challenges you to build a life not on fleeting desires, but on discipline, patience, and long-term vision. A man without structure drifts aimlessly, but with stability, he becomes a pillar for himself and others. For women, the number 4 may represent the importance of boundaries, the strength to say no, and the wisdom to protect your peace without apology. On a practical level, the number 4 showing up in December may point toward your finances, health, or work routines. It could signal the need to create order where chaos has been reigning. Whether it is sticking to meditation practice, paying attention to diet, or bringing consistency to relationships, the message is clear. Stability sustains freedom. Spiritually, 4 is not rigidity. It is steadiness. Just as a house cannot stand without firm pillars, your mind cannot awaken without discipline. The 4 foundations of mindfulness, body, feelings, mind, and phenomena, teach that stability in awareness allows you to see reality as it is. If this number crosses your path repeatedly, pause and ask, where am I lacking discipline? What foundation needs strengthening in my life? December 2025 is a month of endings and beginnings, and the number 4 offers you a reminder. Only those who build wisely will endure the storms. Stability is not the enemy of freedom, it is its gatekeeper. Number 5, change and freedom. The number 5 is the pulse of transformation, movement, and the hunger for freedom. In Buddhist wisdom, it reflects the 5 aggregates: form, feeling, perception, mental formations, and consciousness, reminding us that everything we call self is constantly shifting. To see the truth of impermanence is to see that change is not something to fear, but to embrace as the natural flow of life. In December 2025, the number 5 will appear as a signal that transitions are unfolding, and how you respond will define your path. For men, the energy of 5 challenges the urge to control everything. Modern life conditions men to hold power and resist uncertainty, yet clinging to the unchanging only creates suffering. Number 5 invites you to loosen your grip, to allow movement, and to trust that freedom is born when you stop resisting impermanence. For women, this number often carries the message of self-liberation, stepping away from roles or expectations that restrict the soul and claiming a life of authenticity. Practically, when 5 appears in December, it may point toward career shifts, relocations, relationship transitions, or sudden opportunities. These changes may feel unsettling at first, but Buddhist wisdom reminds us that nothing grows without disruption. Just as a lotus rises through mud, freedom is found by passing through the unknown. Spiritually, 5 is an invitation to let go. Ask yourself, where am I clinging? Where am I resisting the flow of life? The truth is, every change is a teacher. What looks like loss may actually be liberation. What feels like chaos may be the breaking of old karmic chains. As December 2025 unfolds, the number 5 whispers, stop fearing change. Freedom is not found in holding still, but in walking bravely into the river of impermanence with awareness and courage. Number 6, compassion and responsibility. The number 6 carries the vibration of compassion, service, and responsibility. In Buddhist wisdom, it reflects the 6 perfections: generosity, morality, patience, energy, meditation, and wisdom, qualities that guide the bodhisattva path. When this number appears in December 2025, it signals that life is asking you to step beyond self-interest and embody a deeper sense of care for others, while also balancing your duty to yourself. For men, the number 6 is a call to nurture. Too often, men are taught that strength means hardness, but true power lies in the ability to be responsible for others with kindness and patience. It reminds men that leadership without compassion is hollow. For women, the energy of 6 affirms their natural gift of care while warning against overgiving. It teaches that compassion must flow in balance. You cannot heal others if you abandon your own well-being. On a practical level, the number 6 may surface in family matters, commitments, or situations where you are called to be dependable. Perhaps a friend needs support, a parent needs care, or a partner needs your steadiness. It may also reveal that you are carrying too much responsibility, signaling a need to share the load. Spiritually, the presence of 6 in December 2025 is a mirror. Where is my compassion alive, and where is it absent? Compassion is not pity. It is the recognition that all beings suffer, and that your actions can either ease or intensify that suffering. When you embody this awareness, responsibility becomes sacred rather than burdensome. The number 6 reminds us that in giving, we receive. In serving, we grow. But it also insists that self-compassion is not selfishness. December 2025 asks you to carry your responsibilities with love, but not at the cost of your own soul. Balance is the highest form of compassion. Number 7, inner wisdom and reflection. The number 7 is the number of seekers, mystics, and those who turn inward to discover truth. In Buddhism, it echoes the 7 factors of enlightenment: mindfulness, investigation, energy, joy, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity. These qualities blossom only when we pause, reflect, and dive beneath the noise of everyday life. In December 2025, the number 7 will surface as a reminder that your greatest answers will not be found in the world outside, but in the silence within. For men, 7 is a challenge to step away from constant striving. Society tells men to measure worth by achievements, but Buddhist wisdom shows that inner stillness is a deeper strength. To sit quietly, to reflect, and to know yourself is a sign not of weakness, but of mastery. For women, 7 encourages trust in intuition, the quiet voice that often knows the truth before logic does. It reminds you that wisdom is not always loud, sometimes it whispers. Practically, the number 7 may appear during moments of solitude, studies, or spiritual practice. It might point you toward meditation, journaling, or seeking wisdom from teachers and texts. It can also appear in times of uncertainty, signaling that the answer is not in rushing forward, but in pausing to listen. Spiritually, 7 is a teacher of depth. It asks, am I aligned with truth, or am I running from silence? Do I trust my inner knowing, or do I drown it out with distractions? In December 2025, when the world feels busy with endings and celebrations, the number 7 reminds you that stillness is sacred. The presence of 7 is not about isolation but about deep clarity. It is a call to cultivate insight so that when you act from wisdom, not impulse. December offers you this gift, the chance to meet yourself fully in silence. Number 8, power and karma. The number 8 carries the energy of strength, abundance, and karmic cycles. In Buddhist wisdom, it resonates with the Noble Eightfold Path, the guide to right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration, livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. It is a number of balance between the material and the spiritual, reminding us that true power is not in domination, but in alignment with Dharma. In December 2025, the number 8 will appear as a sign that the seeds you have planted are beginning to return, and the cycles of karma are unfolding. For men, 8 is a reminder that authority and influence carry responsibility. Power used selfishly leads to bondage, but power guided by integrity becomes a force for liberation. For women, it symbolizes the courage to step into strength without apology, to embrace leadership, and to claim abundance as a reflection of inner worth, not ego. Practically, the number 8 may point toward career opportunities, financial shifts, or situations where your influence impacts others. It could reveal rewards for discipline or consequences for past neglect. In this way, 8 is both encouraging and sobering. What you give will return for good or ill. Spiritually, the appearance of 8 in December 2025 is an invitation to reflect on karma. Ask yourself, what energy am I sending into the world? Are my actions aligned with the Eightfold Path, or are they driven by greed, anger, or delusion? The truth is that abundance is not just wealth. It is clarity, peace, and the freedom of knowing your life is built on clean actions. The number 8 whispers that cycles are closing and new ones are beginning. What you have sown will bear fruit. December 2025 asks you to step into your power, not with arrogance but with wisdom, knowing that karma is the law no one escapes. Number 9, completion and letting go. The number 9 carries the energy of endings, fulfillment, and release. In Buddhist wisdom, it echoes the teaching of impermanence. Everything that arises must also pass away. December, being the final month of the year, already embodies this truth, and when the number 9 surfaces, it magnifies the call to complete old cycles and let go of attachments that no longer serve your growth. For men, 9 is a lesson in humility. It reminds you that clinging to past victories or failures keeps you bound to what is already gone. Strength lies in accepting closure with dignity and moving forward without regret. For women, the number 9 offers a gentle reminder that endings are not losses but openings. To let go is not to lose. It is to make space for what is yet to arrive. Practically, the number 9 may appear in situations of transition, finishing a project, ending a relationship, or releasing old habits. It may feel like a test, asking you to loosen your grip and trust the unknown. Just as a tree sheds its leaves to survive the winter, you too must release in order to renew. Spiritually, 9 is the number of liberation. It asks, what am I still holding on to that is keeping me from freedom? What weight am I carrying into a new year that I should set down now? In December 2025, the presence of 9 calls for reflection and courage. The courage to forgive, the courage to release, and the courage to walk away from cycles that have reached their natural conclusion. The number 9 is not an end in despair, but an end that blossoms into wisdom. December is your time to shed what is finished, to bow gracefully to impermanence, and to step lightly into the future unburdened. Number 10, renewal and wholeness. And the number 10 symbolizes both completion and new beginnings. In Buddhist wisdom, it embodies the cycle of samsara, the endless turning of birth, death, and rebirth, but also the possibility of breaking free into liberation. Where 9 represents closure, 10 represents the wholeness that comes after endings and the readiness to begin again with clarity. In December 2025, the number 10 will appear as a reminder that every conclusion holds within it the seed of renewal. For men, the number 10 speaks of maturity. It marks the shift from chasing temporary victories to embracing the deeper meaning of life. It is the strength of a man who has faced struggles, learned, and now walks with steadiness. For women, 10 affirms the power of integration, honoring every part of themselves, even the broken places, as essential pieces of the whole. It is an embrace of completeness rather than perfection. Practically, 10 may show itself in final achievements, the wrapping up of cycles, or opportunities that bridge endings with fresh starts. It might mark the completion of a goal you have been pursuing all year, or the beginning of a new phase, born from the lessons of the past. Spiritually, the number 10 is a mirror of wholeness. It asks, am I honoring the full cycle of my life, the victories, the losses, the lessons, the gifts? Am I ready to release the old and embrace what lies ahead? December 2025 is not just the end of a year, but the threshold of a new chapter. The number 10 teaches that life moves in circles, but each circle can spiral upward if you walk with awareness. Renewal is not about erasing the past, but about integrating it into wisdom. In this way, December becomes a doorway to wholeness and awakening. Conclusion. December 2025 carries within it a sacred rhythm, and the numbers that arise are not accidents, but reflections of your inner and outer journey. Each number, whether it speaks of beginnings, balance, creativity, discipline, change, compassion, wisdom, power, completion, or renewal, holds a message to guide you toward clarity and growth. In Buddhist wisdom, nothing is random, all is interconnected, flowing with cause and effect. These numbers are signposts, urging you to pay attention, to live with awareness, and to align with truth. As this year closes, remember, luck is not chance, but mindfulness meeting opportunity. The numbers you encounter are invitations to live more consciously, to embrace impermanence, and to step into the new year lighter, stronger, and wiser. December is not just an ending, it is a beginning, and these numbers are the companions walking with you into a brighter path.